Cynthia, realizing that Jacob was probably talking to someone else when he asked her to leave, puts on her Snoopy bitch hat and goes back into the barn.
This movie is it's 92 minutes long. So we're almost halfway through this movie, and we've got like half the characters, we don't know who the fuck they are.
She finds some severed cow heads and overhears Jacob and Gretchen's dad talk about how God sent down the blackbirds to punish them for something. Trust me, it doesn't matter. But their conversation is interrupted when Jacob hears a raven in the barn and runs over to see what this bird's fucking problem is. Cynthia, for some reason thinking her life is in danger, runs out of the barn and falls into a well with a pile of severed cow heads.
That's not so much scary as it's gross.
She overhears the two men talking. You know, the same two men who have posed absolutely no threat towards her whatsoever.
Jacob! I am here. I have seen Mrs. Hayward's automobile. It is at the bottom of the road.
And instead of saying, hey fellers, hey, it's me, Cynthia. Hey, listen, I accidentally fell down this well because the director was trying to force some tension in this scene. So would one of you guys mind grabbing like a rope or something so I can get out of here? She instead sits in the cow carcasses and cries. Chief Wayne casually drives into town as if he doesn't have a dying person in the back of his vehicle and takes the soon-to-be-dead, unnamed, implied rich lady into the coroner's office where they are then surrounded by birds. Wayne sees a plot device in the middle of the street and walks outside to save him. Also, apparently the birds don't like guns.
Stan, put the gun inside.
You have to be kidding.
They don't like the gun, Stan. Put it inside.
Whatever you say, movie. The rich lady dies after the doctor makes absolutely no attempt to save her life, and the birds begin to attack. Wayne picks up the kid and carries him back to safety. Because, I mean, obviously this kid can't walk because he's a paraplegic and his asshole parents bought him a bike for Christmas instead of a wheelchair. Stan is then scratched to death by birds, instantly killing half of the town's police. Wayne somehow comes up with a theory that the birds were using the paraplegic kid as bait.
It's if those birds are using Tyler's bait.
And once again, the doctor lends to the fact that he probably isn't a real doctor.
Sorry, Wayne.
A bunch of extras walk into the office not demanding any answers because they'd have to get paid more that way, and Wayne tells them to go back outside where the murder birds are and go home.
Go home and stay inside.
They then quietly walk back outside to collect their $45 paychecks for the day. Clyde is on his way to take all three players of the entire girls basketball team to the workshop when Doris shows her teammate how much she wants to fuck Clyde by throwing a basketball in his direction while he's driving. I really get the feeling by how uncomfortable Clyde acts around these girls that he's probably not supposed to be within 500 feet of them.
I just soon you didn't sit there. You're bothering me.
Doris, daydreaming about what she's going to name Clyde's baby, accidentally loses her basketball, which knocks the bus's transmission out of gear, somehow making the engine break down. It's now several hours later and Clyde still hasn't gotten his piece of shit bus running. Doris gets off the bus to offer some help to Clyde, and Clyde declines her assistance by threatening to murder her.
You might want to steer clear of me right now.
Doris then says,
Clyde, I could walk to town fast, you can fix this damn thing.
which there is no doubt in my mind true, and Clyde responds by saying,
Okay, the town is 4 miles that way. You want to walk, be my guest.
It's 4 miles. It's 4 fucking miles? That's it? Goddamn, they've been sitting there since this morning for 12 fucking hours and the town is only 4 miles that way? Holy shit.
The birds attack the bus and Gretchen's instincts of self-preservation kick in and shut the door on Coach Clyde and Doris, insisting that they're already as good as dead.
What are you doing? It's not saving them, you're dead, well.
Not sure how to make the swarming ravens go away, she asked the director what she should do, and he just says, just lay on the horn for a little bit, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Gretchen, they're gone!
The gang find Coach.
Emma.
Oh, her name is Emma, by the way. Yeah, we're just now finding this out, even though she was introduced 35 minutes ago. And Doris, for some reason, thinks Emma can't hear them because everyone knows bird attacks cause deafness.
She can't even hear us.
That's what happened to Ray Charles, anyway. Emma then succumbs to her superficial wounds and dies. Back at the well, Cynthia hears someone approaching, and once again, instead of saying, hey, a little help here, she just sits there in silence as Jacob pours like half a cup of gasoline right onto her head in the most comical way possible. Seeing that she's about to be burned alive, she still doesn't want to say a goddamn word, and for some reason thinks being set on fire is somehow gonna be better than asking for this guy's help. And guess what? As soon as Jacob finally hears that she's down there, he runs to get some help, and she has the pure fucking audacity to say,
No, why are you doing this to me?
He then lowers a chain to her, and the scene cuts away to imply that this is one of the worst directors I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Jacob then explains to Cynthia that the cows got sick and the ravens fed on the dead cattle.
The cows got sick, and then the ravens came. For 3 days, they fed on the dead cattle.
Dude, don't tell me the Ravens got fucking mad cow disease or something. Oh, God. I guess that'd be par for the course for this fucking movie.
There's a close call with Clyde as he tries to get back on the bus, but Gretchen can't get the door open to let him in.
Close door, Gretchen, close the door!
Even though she got it closed pretty damn fast to keep him out.
What are you doing? There's nothing!
Here's yet another scene where fuck all happens. I just wanted to point out how awful the fake blood looks here.
Dude, look at that fake ass blood. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Fuck right off. God damn, it didn't look like real blood before. It certainly doesn't look like real blood now. Look, it's fucking pink on her forehead.
We cut back to the bus to find that the ravens have armed themselves with fucking rocks, and they begin to throw them at the windows. What the? Why am I even fucking bothering with this shit? I mean, you know what? Just fuck this whole goddamn movie. I mean, this is fucking. I mean, it's fucking rocks. They've got rocks that the ravens have figured out how to use rocks as weapons. So mad cow disease has taught these ravens how to arm themselves with fucking rocks and use them to break the fucking. Do I have any absinthe? Do I have any left? I need a drink. Wayne shows up just in the nick of time to start blasting the birds who were organized enough to coordinate a joint strike with rocks on the bus a few seconds ago, but seemed totally clueless as to what to do with one man who's completely exposed out in the open. Luann radios in, letting Wayne know that backup is coming, and then she hears a window break.
Okay, Wayne, I'm gonna do everything that I can. So just take care.
Hey, Wayne, I'm gonna do everything I can.
But don't worry, according to this movie's logic, nothing probably happened, and we'll cut back to her in just a second, and she'll be totally fine.
Oh my God. Oh, that was fucking beautiful. Did you see her fucking head?
While trying to escape the birds in his lifted off-road 4x4 truck, Wayne manages to get stuck in the mud, and the gang decide to run through the cornfield where Connie meets her demise. I mean, I guess she dies. She just has some blood on her face. That's about it. Oh, by the way, this girl's name is Connie! The crew make it back to Betty's and are escorted in by a small flock of ravens who were just trying to peck their eyes out 10 seconds ago. Jacob's Amish husband finally decides to spill the fucking beans on what's going on, and oh my God, is the payoff ever worth having to sit an hour and 20 minutes through this pile of shit?
One of our cows became sick, then a few more, and they have the cow sickness that you call mad cow disease.
Oh my God, I fucking called it. The birds have mad cow.
The birds start knocking out lights and attack the restaurant by flying into the windows. I guess they couldn't find any more rocks. Clyde proceeds to get super triggered because Betty has died. Hey, look at that raven just hanging out on his shoulder. And decides to take the battle outside.
I'm going out there.
Clyde gets the genius idea to blow up the birds by pouring some gasoline on the ground, standing right next to it and throwing a lighter at it instead of going back inside and throwing the lighter from there. He eventually executes his well thought out plan, blows the gas pumps, and everyone, including Wayne, who was 10 feet away from the explosion, is perfectly fine. Well, except Clyde. He was apparently disintegrated because his body is nowhere to be found. In the morning, the gang steps outside, and the doctor, using his 12 years of medical school to its full potential, makes yet another astute observation.
They're dying. They're dying fast.
Oh my God, this guy makes me so fucking sick.
We end the movie with Wayne bragging about how he can have sex for longer than 15 minutes like some kind of genetically modified freak of nature.
You know, you still owe me 15 minutes.
Probably a lot more than that, but I love a good place to start.
And the two go upstairs where there's some birds waiting for them. Yeah, but what'd you think was gonna happen? Is this shit over? Good. Fan-fucking-tastic. So that was Caw. What did I think about the movie? It was pretty good. I liked it. Pros and cons. Okay, pro. The Ravens throwing rocks. That's definitely a big pro. Second pro, Luann getting her face eaten off by the crows. That was a high point for me. Cons. Not really much comes to mind. Okay. Too much product placement. I was originally going to give this movie a 9 out of 10 until I saw the crows throwing the rocks. So, for me, Caw gets 10 out of 10.